Hey viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall, Director's Cut. We're back with Glory's side mission here, and we've got to get through these teens, I guess, before we talk to Marta, and hopefully we can do it without killing them. The initiate closest to the door whips his head up to look at you. He takes a stutter step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that. Glory looks deep into the initiate's eyes, transfixing him. We're not here to hurt you. Missing etiquette. If we wanted to kill you, you'd already be dead. You live down the street. You know how this works. Sadly. Do you really think that you can get to that door before I get to you? The initiate eyes you nervously. His gaze flits to Glory, then falls to her cyber limbs. He swallows. No. He takes a step back. Please, don't hurt us. Like I said, we don't want to hurt anyone. We're just here to have a word with Marta. Alone. You're not gonna hurt her? No, of course not. We just want to talk. We're old friends. Yeah, okay, you can do that. The male initiate takes a step back, then screws up his courage. But you'd better be telling the truth. If anything happens to her, don't worry, kid. Nobody's getting hurt tonight. Oh, we can talk to female initiate. The initiate by the door is staring at Glory's limbs, her eyes wide. She's a mousy little thing, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 17 years old, with purple contact lenses and a shock of blue hair. She glances up at Glory, blinking. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your picture before. Glory's expression remains neutral. Really? I think so. I didn't look at it long. It was in a room that I wasn't supposed to be in. But I'm pretty sure that it was you. It probably was. You're right. I did live here, a long time ago. I was like you back then, a scared kid, brought here by Marta for a chance at a new life. I like Marta. She's so nice. I always feel safe when I'm with her. Most adults aren't like that. They either don't notice you, or they do for the wrong reasons. But Marta, she cares about us. There is a long pause, and then the initiate looks to you. Screwing up her courage, she speaks. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead, ask away. Well, I overheard Marta talking with Mr. Harrow yesterday. I think they were talking about our meeting with him, the one that Marta was just telling us about, where we'll learn to see the world in a different way. Go on. Well, I couldn't really hear the whole conversation. It was all muffled, but what I could hear was kind of weird. Mr. Harrow said some stuff about a shrine, and then it sounded like he changed the subject, because he started talking about dinner, something about chopping up meat. Well, Marta got real upset. Said, they're too new, they're not ready, make the older ones do it. Stuff like that. But then Mr. Harrow said some other things, and then she calmed down again. When she left, she was smiling. And so, I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I want to make sure that Marta's okay, but I can't ask her about it because I don't want her to find out that I was eavesdropping. Well, unfortunately, I do know what they're planning. I think I know what Harrow has planned for you. Have you ever opened the fridge in the other room? No. Why? Is that where we're going to make dinner? Glory cuts in. Her voice is gentle. I wouldn't worry about it. We'll make sure that Marta is okay. All right, but don't tell her that I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. How long have you been here, by the way? Almost a week? She shuffles her feet. Eventually, she looks up with a small smile. It's wonderful. Of course it is. So much nicer than living on the street, isn't it? Glory's face is kind, but her tone's one of incredible sorrow. You be good, sweetie. Don't worry. We'll take care of Marta. The girl smiles sheepishly and steps back. As you pass by her on the way to the door, Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. It's like I thought. Things have changed here in the past few years. How so? Back when I lived here, Harrow would never have let such a fresh convert prepare a sacrifice. He'd wait until she was in so deep, until she felt indebted to him, that she couldn't turn tail and run. It was a rule. You let newcomers get settled for a month, maybe 2, before teaching them the more unsavory aspects of cult life. Even then, you start them off slow. Their first lessons would use pork or chicken, never human meat. That didn't come until much later. Indoctrinating a new recruit after a week is risky as hell, and he never would have done it while I lived here. Maybe he's getting cocky. Maybe. Or maybe he knows for a fact that they won't run away. The shrine's influence won't let them. Either way, it's a sign of something. Harrow is getting lazy, letting his captive spirit do the heavy lifting for him. So, what does this mean for us? I'm still working on that, but I don't think that the shrine is just a tool for Harrow anymore. I think he relies on it. He's using it as a crutch. She cocks her head slightly, a thoughtful expression on her face. I think that he's let himself become dependent on the damn thing. Good. If the shrine's influence is the only thing keeping these kids here, that'll make our job a lot easier. She nods, a fierce look in her eye. On that, we are agreed. Here we go. Marta is just on the other side of this door. However this goes, we're going to have to move quickly afterward. If she dies, Harrow will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that? Here we go. Open the door. Crystal. Let's do this. The woman in the room is lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine, elvish features, and a tumble of fire-red hair spills down over her shoulders. Beyond her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Harrow used to draw her, and so many others, to Fürchtel. She looks up with a start at the sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at the sight of Glory. As she takes in her cyberware, her mouth falls open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. Glory's voice is cold. It's been a long time. It has. Marta swallows. The horrified look hasn't left her face. Glory, what have you done to yourself? What I had to do. I got out, Marta. This was the only way. Oh, Glory. All at once, the horror on Marta's face is replaced with an expression of profound sorrow. I am so sorry. Marta steps forward, her arms extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something on Glory's pallid face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws into a defensive posture. Her voice frosts over with cold rage. Don't you touch me. You're one of Harrow's creatures. You always were. Marta stops short. One of his creatures? Glory, what are you talking about? Let's see here. Keep your cool, Glory. This isn't like you. Look at me, Renairen. Take a good, long look. I was forced to sacrifice my own body in order to escape from this place, to hack away what made me human, and she's the one who brought me here. Ooh, do we confront her, or do we say nothing? Maybe so, but at the end of the day, it was your decision to come here. Nobody held a gun to your head. She grinds her teeth, but says nothing. Eventually she nods. You're right, of course. It was my choice. But that doesn't change what she is, or what she did to me. If she hadn't found me, hadn't baited me here, none of this would have happened. None of what? I haven't done anything. If you just left me where you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship, and I would have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you. She looks genuinely hurt. Harrow and I rescued you from a life on the street. A beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in a gutter. I pulled you away from all of that. I saved you. There is a long pause. Glory stares into Marta's eyes, her expression unreadable. I don't feel much more, Marta. Most of the time I'm completely numb. But for you, I can make an exception. I hate you. I'm sorry that you feel that way, Glory. For my part, I still love you. The razors flick out of Glory's fingertips. Her lip curls into a snarl. Another lie. The last one you'll ever tell. Look, I don't think she's lying. Or at least she doesn't think so. She believes what she's saying. That's because it's true. I'll prove it to you. The words come stammering out of her. Her eyes are fixed on Glory's razors. Ask me anything you want. I'll show you that I'm telling the truth. I never wanted anything bad to happen to you, Glory. Not ever. She wheels to face you. Why are you listening to her? She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's her whole purpose here, remember? She's bait. Why should we listen to anything that she has to say? Knowing how the shrine is affecting her mind might help us, Glory. She fumes at you, but only for a moment. You might be right. Marta looks to you from Glory, a confused expression on her face. Her voice goes quiet. There's nothing wrong with my mind, Glory. I don't even understand what you two are talking about. No, of course you don't. She fidgets in agitation. I understand your interest in learning more about this, Renairen, but we're wasting time, and we need that key. If Harrow gets back here before we've dealt with that shrine, we're fucked. Well, street etiquette that I can't use, but I'll read it here. I've spent enough time on the street to learn how to read a person, and I'm telling you, Marta loves those kids. Let's see. I didn't turn my back on you, Glory. You shouldn't turn your back on her. Glory stares at you a moment, naked hostility on her face. Then the razors slide back into housings with a click. All right, Marta. Convince me. Convince you of what? That I'm not a monster? I don't know how to do that, Glory. You can start by telling me how you sleep at night. You know what happens to the kids that you bring here. You know what happened to me. But you're still luring them here into Harrow's clutches all these years later. So tell me, how do you live with yourself? Explain it to me. For a moment, you can see the conflict behind Marta's eyes. If cognitive dissonance had a face, it would be hers. Confused, frightened, angry, at war with herself. For a moment, she struggles to speak. Then the whispering sensation that you felt outside of the compound comes back, and her face changes. The muscles of her brow relax, and she appears to be at peace. Why are you asking me this, Glory? You already know the answers. The kids here, they aren't being hurt. They're walking the path to a free and pure life, just like Harrow taught us. Let's see here. The shrine's whispering to her. I haven't even been in Firstell for an hour, Marta, and that time I found evidence of horrifying levels of abuse. She flinches in agitation, but you hear the whispering again and she calms herself. Her joyful smile widens. Nothing that happens here is without reason. Harrow is a great man, a prophet. When you meet him for yourself, you'll understand. He'll make you see. She's too far gone to parse what you're saying, Renairen. After so many years living here, I don't know if she even knows what normal feels like anymore. She steps forward and grabs Marta by the shoulders. It's a curiously soft gesture. Marta, if what you're saying is true, if you ever really did care for me, then please, give me your key. It's important. She blinks. Key? Whatever you use to get past the wards outside of Harrow's shrine. I need it. Don't ask why. Just do this for me. You owe me that much. She looks momentarily conflicted. Then the moment passes. No. Harrow said that I had to guard this. He told me that I could never take it off. I can't question one of Harrow's orders. It would be wrong. Academic again we can't use. Don't you see anything ironic about a cult devoted to freedom and rebellion with a totalitarian leader? Let's see here. Let's try... I've read this book, and it's doublespeak, so what if I could convince you that it wouldn't be wrong to question him? She blinks. Then that thing that you saw behind her eyes locks down again, and the flicker of unease on her face is replaced with an easy smile. You're welcome to try, but I promise you, you'll walk away from this apologizing for how wrong you are. Harrow is a great man. Firstell is a great, good place. Stay here for a while, and you'll learn that for yourself. She crosses her arms over her chest. Go ahead. Ask your questions. We have nothing to hide. Now, here it is, the manifesto. I've read Harrow's manifesto. It looks like he spends a long time talking about charity. She nods eagerly. Yes, of course, charity. The kind that I practice when I rescue young people from the streets. But then, in his rules of living, he says that all freethinkers are supposed to be selfish. Well, yes, but... And after that, he says that only the strong deserve to prosper. So, which is it? Marta blinks. She looks momentarily confused, and then you see the conviction clamp back down behind her eyes. You just don't understand the beauty of his message, the truth behind it. Harrow is hurting the runaways that you bring here. You can see that, can't you? Her smile shifts into an expression of mock concern. Hurting? How so? Is it going to make the initiates, the young initiates, like the girl in the next room, do something horrible? Her smile slowly fades. That girl, such a sweet young thing. I rescued her from a bad place, Glory. Her and the boys in that dorm as well. But they're all safe now, and isn't that what's important? Are they? You know what I'm talking about, Marta. The harvesting? The meat? The confusion washes over her face again. She begins blinking agitatedly and fidgeting. Then that unseen force clamps down again, and she seems to calm. It's regrettable, but it happens for a good reason. The sacrifices keep us safe here, and safety is something that a lot of these kids have never known. The initiates have to learn how things are done here. Harrow told us so. That's what it all boils down to, isn't it? It has to be this way because he says it does. He's a great man. He would never hurt us, whatever you say. You're taking everything out of context. You don't understand. He's corrupting you all. How many of them has he taken as his wives, yourself included? She rolls her eyes at you. A lesson in Puritan values from a Shadowrunner. How quaint. Let's see. This isn't about you. I don't care what you do, Marta. I'm talking about child abuse. Harrow doesn't take the young ones for wives. I don't know what Glory's told you, but he isn't a monster. And even the youngest initiates here aren't children. Not really. Her voice goes soft. Life on the street took that from them a long time ago. Furstell lets them be themselves, but in a safe place. Certainly safer than the back alleys of some urban hellhole like the one that you live in. I was young when he chose me, Marta. Maybe not innocent, but young. Somewhere deep down, you know that this is wrong. When you lived with us, you didn't think it was wrong. You loved it here. You can rewrite history to cast yourself as the victim if you want to. If demonizing me helps, you can do that, too. But nobody ever forced you to do anything, Glory. Glory falls silent. The color drains from her face. This is clearly a difficult subject. I don't know what you were hoping to achieve by bringing it up, but I promise you, you aren't going to convince me to abandon my way of life. Our ways here are our own. You can't change that. All that you can do is accept it and move on. I can see that Harrow was brainwashing you into thinking this is okay, but Marta, it isn't. Or let's talk about something else. I'd say it isn't. You just don't know when to give up, do you? Our ways aren't yours, but that doesn't give you the right to judge us. Who are you to impose your ideology on this commune? An outsider. Someone who hasn't been corrupted by Harrow or his pet spirit. I'd say that qualifies me to offer an opinion. I'll tell you what you are. You're the kind of person that Harrow's always warned us about. Your sense of moral outrage doesn't trump our right to live the way we choose. She takes a deep breath, struggles to calm herself. If you have more accusations to hurl at my husband, go ahead and do it. I'll tell you how wrong you are. I'd prefer to keep this conversation civil. That's up to you. There's something else I'd like to ask you about. Go ahead, I won't stop you. Give us the amulet, Marta. It's the right thing to do. I don't know if you expected any of that to mean anything, but it doesn't. None of it matters. She fishes the amulet out of her blouse. It dangles on a golden chain glinting in the firelight. If you want this, you're going to have to kill me for it. Glory shifts it into attack posture. When she speaks, her voice is unsteady. I'm sorry that it came to this, Marta, but you're too far gone to save. If what you want is a fight, I'll give you one. I didn't want this, Glory. I wish that we could have come out of this friends, but you haven't convinced me of anything, and I made a promise to protect this with my life. Yeah, well, best of luck with that. I won't need luck, outsider. Harrow, my husband, taught me how. She stares at Glory, and her eyes are sad. She raises her hands and they begin to glow. See for yourself. Really? Really? I think we could talk her out of it, but... maybe if I just wound her a bit? $36 left. Come on, just give up. Damn it. Damn it. Glory stands staring at the red ruin of Marta's body. Her eyes flit down to her claws, and an expression of growing horror creeps across her face. You okay, Glory? It takes her a long time to respond. Her voice is choked with a long-dormant emotion. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, but it had to be done. She snarls out an answer. Her face is flushed red. Yes, I know. She was just as bad as Harrow. Killing her was the right thing to do. To your astonishment, you can see that her eyes are welling with tears. Glory. All at once, the blood drains from her cheeks. She wipes the water from her eyes with a cold metal hand. Save the consolation speech. I'm over it. Her voice is frigid, dead. She nods in the direction of the shrine room door. We got what we came here for. Let's go finish this. We gotta fight the kids now? No, but we can talk to him. You monster! You killed Marta! It couldn't be helped. Harrow's gonna get you. You'll see. I wonder if I had those etiquettes if I could save her, viewers. Because I tried all my dialogue choices and Or if I could hack that console, I don't know. As you step forward, the scintillating red light that streams from the doorway flickers and dies. There is a strange, lurching sensation in your gut, but it clears almost instantly. The door swings open with a touch. That seems to have done it. Glory nods, then reaches into her satchel. Her hand comes back out, clutching a small jar. I'm going to put a smear of this on your forehead. It's a sort of alchemical balm. Her voice goes quiet. Harrow taught me how to make it. She unscrews the cap from the jar, revealing a pale white ointment. The surface glitters strangely in the dim light. If you ever wondered where my share of the take from our jobs has gone, this is the answer. Powdered orichalcum isn't cheap. I think it's orichalcum. Yeah, orichalcum. Probably orichalcum. Oh well. What does the ointment do? The boundaries between the material world and the astral plane are weak in this place. Things can bleed through. The balm is like a lens. It focuses your perceptions, makes the haze real. She applies a smear of ointment to your forehead. Looks like a glob of glittering white paint. With this, we can deal with the spirit on its own level. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a ton of fun. She dips her finger back into the balm and traces it down your forehead. The ointment feels cool and oily on your skin. Probably not, but it's what we're here for. Harrow's shrine and the spirit trapped inside of it are standing between us and what we're trying to do, so we deal with them whether we want to or not. She fishes in her bag a second time and pulls out a pair of silver necklaces. A rune-inscribed pendant dangles from each. These will protect your astral stealth from spiritual possession. Don't take it off while we're dealing with the shrine. Whatever you do. Put on the pendant. Got it. Glory puts on her own pendant. The necklace glitters slightly against her pale skin. I don't know what's going to happen when we step into that room, Renairen. We're playing with forces outside of our control. Are you ready to do this? Ready as I'll ever be. Let's go, then. Once we've purified the spirit, we can see about rescuing those kids. Harrow will get away, but we can worry about that later. Yeah. We've got to prioritize the kids. That's the plan. Let's do it. One last thing before we do this. I have the reason to suspect that Harrow isn't the real power here anymore. I think that the spirit is. Explain. I think that when Harrow started using his shrine, he handed the spirit trapped inside of it the keys to the kingdom. The bastard might think that he's in charge here, but he isn't. Not anymore. He's a servant, just like everybody else. The only difference is he doesn't know it. What are you basing this on? We saw him with the initiate in the fridge. We heard Marta say about the sacrifices. Lots of little things, but they add up. Anyway, I'm only bothering you with this because it's solid evidence that we're doing the right thing. Even if Harrow does escape, he won't be as much of a threat as we thought he was. I just wanted you to know that. Thanks. Now let's do this. Oh, another game save. As you approach the shrine, a chorus of high, sibilant voices fills the air. The sound is light and airy, but something about it fills you with a bone-deep dread. Welcome home, Glory. Glory's eyes go wide. She opens her mouth to speak, but no sound escapes her. Glory, what? Something slams into you, a wave of intangible force that turns your consciousness inside out and sends shockwaves reverberating through your mind. The world lurches, and everything goes black. Slowly, you begin to stir. Murky, flickering impressions invade the oily stillness of your unconscious mind. The sensations come in waves, washing up over you and jerking you back toward consciousness. You smell acrid smoke and burning meat. The roar of distant flames whispers in your ears. When your eyes flutter open, a dull red glare fills your vision. As you attempt to struggle to your feet, you become dimly aware that the gravity here feels wrong. Everything is heavier than it should be. Slowly, the waves grow still, and your senses calm. You find yourself staring into an infinite horizon. The blasted ruins of Furchtel stretch out in all directions, as far as the eye can see. Well, it could be clever about this, but... holy shit. Warily, she surveys your surroundings. I'd say that's an understatement. Where the hell are we? I can't say for certain, but there's one thing I am sure of. Whatever this place is, the adversary holds sway here. I don't doubt that. In fact, I think that this place looks the way it does because you expect it to. It's trying to play on your fears. She pauses for a moment, then shrugs. That's possible, I suppose, but we can worry about it later. For now, let's keep moving. The spirit will be around here. Somewhere. Ooh, I wonder if we'll find Marta again. Here we go. Alright, Glory. Let's get going. Let's spread out and take some cover here. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Want some bullets? That guy's tough. Damn. There we go. Well, that was nice of you, thanks. So, demon spirits. Alrighty. Let's see what they got for us next. Ah, even more of you. Better. Actually, let's grenade you guys. Hey, buddies, catch. I kept the thing for a reason. Let's put a bullet in you. Let's not. Don't know what that is, but it doesn't look good. Actually, we're gonna keep grenading you guys. Nice. And Glory, can we do... Oh, these 3 targets, that's right. So let's do a double tap. Nice. Again, I'm thinking that the combat in these little side missions are a little bit easier. Have some grenades. You have a lot of armor to turn 12 damage into 6 damage. Anyhow, let's do this instead. Looking like a good flanking bonus. This is kind of creepy though, won't lie, viewers. Well, that looks like the shrine. Whoa! The thing hovering before you is hideous. Its broad chest is jacketed in scale-like patches of burning coal, and its many sets of antlers shimmer with heat. It smells like a barn fire, wood smoke, burning fur, and blackening bodies. The spirit inclines its head towards Glory and spreads its arms in welcome. Glory, welcome, child. It speaks in a chorus of clear, lilting voices. You don't hear them so much as feel them. The sensation is strange, like hundreds of butterflies fluttering in your chest. What a pleasure it is to see you again. Glory steps forward, trepidation on her face. Standing before the towering form of the spirit, she looks frail and small. She takes a deep breath, steels herself, and speaks. I know what you were, spirit, before the adversary twisted you, before Harrow bound you into this rock. She drops a hand to the satchel at her side. I can help you be that again. All you need to do is let me. The spirit chuckles, a strange warbling sound that sends a shiver down your spine. We are not in need of help. We are our great master's servant, just as Harrow is. Just as you are, despite your misguided attempt to cut away his love from your heart. The voices in your head soften, become sad, but the fluttering in your chest turns ugly, like the buzzing wings of a swarm of blowflies. You have mangled yourself beyond repair, and you did it to spite him. He who was your greatest benefactor. You betrayed him, child, but he loves you all the same. Don't listen to this thing, Glory. Slowly, terribly, the spirit begins to turn. You can hear the crack and pop of splintering vertebrae as its enormous head shifts on its shoulders. It fixes its cavernous gaze on you. Your friend, this outsider, speaks out of turn, but we take no offense. His words are like the babble of a newborn babe. He is ignorant of the truth. The spirit inclines its head toward you. If the noise continues, we will teach him, and the babble will cease. Glory shoots you a sidelong glance, She mouths out a word. Don't. I have a message for you from our great master. He has a gift for you, a peace offering, one that he offers freely, a sign of his continued affection for you. He knows that you desire his servant's destruction. As a symbol of his love, he will grant you the power to bring an end to Harrow. He knows that you wish to free the child of Thurstel. As a sign of his compassion, he will help you set them free. You can have everything that you want, child. All of this and more. Well, Glory asked me to remain silent, so that's a nice pitch, Spirit, but you neglected to mention the price. The Spirit leans towards her, clasping its hands. This will cost you nothing. A simple gesture, a trifle, a show of good faith. If you demonstrate your love for him, he will reward you beyond your wildest dreams. Remove the protective ward from your neck, and his gift is yours for the taking, yours forevermore. Well, say nothing. Glory cranes her neck to look up at the reeking, cadaverous thing that looms over her. I had my own limbs hacked off to get away from the adversary. I paid someone to do it. That's how badly I wanted to be free of your great master. Your offer is as pathetic as it was predictable. To be frank, I'm disappointed in you. The barn fire stench of the Spirit thickens, and its antlers glow white. The heat radiating from the thing is like an oven, a kiln, a blast furnace. If you rebuke our great master a second time, I will chew what's left of you into mulch. The marrow from your bones will nourish the garden. I promise you this, child. I promise it. I have a better idea. Glory slips a hand into her satchel and produces a ceremonial dagger. The blade shimmers eerily in the night. We're going to purify you, Spirit. And after we purify you, you'll help us rescue those kids. The Spirit cackles. Very well, child. If pain is what you seek, we will bring it to you. Beneath its leathery skin, the thing's bones begin to shift, straining against the ligaments and tendons that bind them. A hideous crackling sound fills the air as its skeleton splinters and pops. As you watch, the Spirit's body begins to rupture. Great lesions open up in the creature's head and back, and his ribcage cracks from some horrible internal pressure. The Spirit's chest heaves, and a foul liquid pours from the rips in its flesh. A flash of light stabs your eyes, and when your vision clears, you find 3 identical spirits floating before you. Death comes in many forms, child. The fluttering sensation in your chest grows into a rasping pain that steals the breath from your lungs. It feels like you're being eaten alive. Yours will be swift and brutal. Heart of Thurstel, Heart of Thurstel. So you're all the same, as far as I can tell. Let's start with you. You only had, like, almost no HP. Oh wait, AP pump. You've got to be the real deal there, then. A figure materializes out of the shadows. The form is wispy and insubstantial, a projection of a man distorted by distance. His silhouette ripples like a flag in the wind. Through the haze, you can see his face. He is more beautiful than handsome, with sculpted features and an unnaturally youthful complexion. His expression is sad. Harrow. Glory. The voice is deep but faint and marred by echoes. It sounds as if he's shouting from the far end of a long tunnel. You shouldn't have come here. I was content to let you live out your life in peace. I've come to put an end to this place, Harrow. This place and your pathetic, sickening cult. I don't want to kill you, Glory, and I won't, unless you force my hand. The flickering silhouette spreads its arms wide. Ask me for my protection, and I will usher you out of this place. You can leave Thurstel in peace. If you ask me politely, I might even let your friend leave with you. I won't abandon your victims here, Harrow. Not again. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. My only regret is that you aren't here in person to burn with it. The projection of Harrow sighs. A fight. Well. The air all around him begins to pulse with scintillating bursts of color. His rippling and transparent form glows with heat from within. You brought this upon yourself. Well, you're the real deal, right? Yep. Okay, and if you could actually smack Harrow and stun him. Awesome. And then maybe armor broken, -2 AP. Sweet freaking deal. Missed. Crit times 2 blocked. Okay, so that's gotta be the real deal up here now then, right? Yep. Glory, kick its ass. So that's the real you. Guns out of ammo, switch to the pistol. Weakened, the spirit's form flickers and sparks. The burning coals that cling to its body fall off in clumps, and its searing antlers begin to cool. The chorus of lilting voices warbles and shrieks as its body transmogrifies into something else. Through the haze, you can see Harrow's eyes go wide. At once, his rippling silhouette begins to fade back into the shadows whence it came. His body becomes insubstantial. Go ahead and run, you fucking coward. Run back to the real world and whatever hole you crawled out of. We'll catch you. Shadows in the shape of a man smile back at you. The distance in his voice is increased. It sounds like he's shouting from miles away. I don't think so. You don't even know where the real me is, Glory. Oh, don't worry. We'll find you. We're good at that sort of thing. The projection flashes you with a condescending grin. Believe whatever you like, fool. It won't do you any good. Years from now, I'll still be doing what I do, and you will have accomplished nothing. Go ahead, Harrow. Try to set up another cult. You won't get far before I hunt you down. The projection chuckles. The sound is thin and hollow. You know better than that. But nothing makes me happier than the sound of you lying to yourself. Goodbye, Glory. The shadow slowly dissipates, and Harrow is gone. Son of a bitch. Glory continues staring for a long moment at the spot where the projection of Harrow vanished. Her expression is unreadable. Slowly, she turns away. The spirit's writhing form continues its transformation. Twisted claws buckle, break, and reform. Charred bone begins to heal. The barren stench of it slowly dies away, replaced by an array of more pleasant smells, oak and pine and mineral oil, rustic feasts and mulled wine. As it cools, the spirit raises its head. Its body is as shaky as newborn foals. What has happened to us? What have we done? Well, let's keep saying nothing, let Glory handle this. She knows this magic stuff. What have you done? Terrible things, spirit. Loathsome, unforgivable things. You have corrupted children, turned them into killers. You've been a party to violence, torture, and the desecration of corpses. You've created monsters. The spirit cringes, shaking its great head from side to side. It doesn't speak, but a low, rumbling sound emanates from somewhere deep in its chest. Unpleasant to think about, isn't it? But you have to, spirit. You can't run from what you've done. Your actions are a part of you, whether you like it or not. The rumbling sound turns into a tormented howl. The noise conjures images of mourning mothers and caged animals, screeching orphans and dying men. It is a sound of pure, unmitigated despair. Glory takes a step toward the giant creature. Listen to me, spirit. I need your help. We're here to rescue the cultists of Firstel, the street kids whose minds you touched. We're getting them out of here, before the adversary can do to them what it did to you. The spirit stares at Glory for a long moment. Finally, it dips its head in a nod. Yes, we will help you. I'll be damned. Something's gone right for a change. The spirit bows its head. We have withdrawn ourselves from the minds of the people here. They are themselves again. Thank you. We'll take our leave of you now. The heart of Firstel's head jerks up in alarm. Wait, we wish to do more. We have much to atone for, as you said. Just what do you hope to do? Make amends. Heal the sick and the wounded. Bring them the succor of hearth and home. But we can do nothing without your help. We are still bound to this shrine, anchored here. We cannot leave without your assistance. Now tell us what you need us to do. We need an appropriate vessel to carry us out of the rock. Something touched by magic, but more dead than alive. It dips its head. Do you have anything that can help us? Gingerly, she reaches up and wraps a hand around the protective ward that hangs around her neck. Yes, I think that I do. Oh, Glory. Magic, but more dead than alive, huh? Say nothing. With a single motion, she snaps the chain. The pendant falls to the floor. The heart of Firstel lowers its eyeless head, then traces an elaborate gesture into the air. A warm glow envelops it, and a similar glow spills from Glory. There's a bright flash, and the spirit is gone. Glory, are you okay? Slowly she rises. She looks you in the eye, a quizzical expression on her face. I can feel it. The spirit. It's bound to me now. So what does that mean for us? Can the spirit help us, like it said? See for yourself. She raises an arm and you feel a burst of warmth and comfort in your chest. It wants to help people, to heal them. It wants redemption, just like I do. Together, maybe we'll find it. Behind your eyes, the vision starts to twist. It feels as though you're being turned inside out. Time to go. With the spirit's link to the adversary severed, this entire reality is falling apart. See you in the real world, Glory. Yeah, she offers you a grateful smile. I'll see you there. So, but how can she do that? She's got a ton of cyberware, so she has, like, crap essence. Slowly, you swim back to consciousness. Struggling to your feet, you find Glory already standing and alert. I can feel them. The spirit set them free, but they're trapped somewhere here in the complex. The initiates, you mean? Yes, and others. She surveys the room, a worried expression on her face. We need to find them and get out of here. The connection between this compound and wherever we were is breaking down. As that place disintegrates, more and more things are spilling through, like rats fleeing a sinking ship. She nods. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Firstell is consumed too. Look in the corner there, you can already see it happening. I'll take your word for it. Let's move. So, I guess she gets an upgrade, kind of like Iger and everyone else did, but oh yeah, this is a million times bad. Clear rubble. As you kick the door open and fumble forward into the room, you see yourself surrounded by a sea of teenage space faces. Initiates and acolytes, huddled together and trembling. With the spirit's influence cleared from their minds, their swagger is gone. They look frightened and lost, like kids who have had the security blankets torn away. Glory? Is that you? The acolyte is in his early 20s, close to Glory's age. His eyes are wide with astonishment. You don't know me, but I was a new initiate back when you lived here. When you were... She cuts in, but her voice is gentle. Yes, it's me. Come on. We're taking you to safety. Someplace far away from here. A scrawny teenager in a ratty coat stares at Glory's chrome, his mouth hanging slack. His voice cracks when he speaks. What happened to you? Your arms. Something that you'll never need to worry about. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. Couldn't have put it better myself. Come on, people. We're taking you someplace safe. Still wish I could have saved Marta, but maybe you can't do it. Back to the cruise bazaar. Insulated from the rest of Berlin, an island of hope in a swamp of crime, chaos, and misery. Your home, and the former home of Monica Schaefer. Its uneven streets and familiar faces are a welcome sight. Maybe if I had those etiquettes, I could have saved her. I don't know. Oh, well. Ooh, 2 whole karma. Well, actually, hang on. That's not a joke, because that should give exactly enough karma to afford to buy Range Combat 8. Which means I will never miss anything ever again. Any thoughts about that last run? Nope, probably not, because you weren't on it, Blitz. Hey, Dante. How's it going, buddy? Actually, did we post any pay data? Nope, we have none to post. Oh, BBS keywords. F state protection. The readers have it good in local authority that the Lobachki Syndicate is eyeing Shatness for expansion. For the good of the flux, we should keep a watchful eye on the situation. See attached files for more details. Shockwell and Reuters. Okay, bad news for Shatnest, but if the Rambok isn't going to stop them and I hear Surf Turf is out of the picture, well, I'm sure there's some polyclub out there who wants a piece of that pie. I know we've got enough of them, from Tolstoy. I know that Humanis has some presence there, but I doubt they'll fight the Russians too much. I say they're far more likely to form a partnership, from Ruby. Well, I guess that's what happened after, what we did. Glory stands, an introspective look on her face. At the sound of your approach, she turns to face you. She nods at you. Thanks for your help at first, El. I couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, speaking of which, I've been meaning to talk with you about that. After the things we saw in there, I'm not surprised. Go ahead, Renairen. I'm listening. You looked distraught when Marta died. How are you holding up? Her expression in the clouds. As well as can be expected, my feelings on this are complicated. You loved her. That much is pretty clear. Yes. And part of me still loved her, and the rest hated her for what she represented. Am I ultimately sorry that she's dead? Yes, but I'm not sure what the alternative would be. See this? Like, letting her live might have been a good place to start. That's bullshit. We tried hard to talk her down. Let's see here. May say nothing, I guess? Marta was a new definition of the term damaged goods. I can't even imagine the amount of psychological trauma she'd be carrying if she were alive today. It'd take her years to recover, and in that time she'd still be dangerous. All in all, it's probably better the way things worked out the way they did. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. Well, Harrow got away, just like you said he would. She frowns. Yes, and he's already putting distance between himself and the Schonbuch forest. How do you want to go about tracking him? Finding Harrow is going to be a full-time job. I can't track him down when we still have a great dragon hanging over our heads. After we've dealt with Vauclair and the Firewing, I'll devote myself wholeheartedly to finding that bastard and finishing this. But for now, we need to keep our eyes on the road ahead. What did you end up doing with the cultists that we rescued? Did you send them to Samuel? No. He has enough to worry about keeping the people of the Cruise Bazaar safe. The kids that we rescued, they've been damaged by Harrow's philosophies. They can get better, but it's going to take time. Trying to integrate them into our society too quickly would be dangerous. So, where did they go? I took them to the talismonger, Algernon. He said that he knew a place where they could get help. It won't be easy for them, or quick. They'll get better in time. That answers all my questions. Thanks for taking the time to talk. Anytime, Renairen, and thanks again. I mean that. Achievement unlocked. Moving on. I don't think I got one for Iger. Maybe Iger's isn't done yet. Let's have a quick chat with the talismonger after our usual tip. The usual. I still have all my medkits too, so... They're only medkit 2s, but shouldn't need to buy any. As you approach, you find Absinthe reading a small soy-calf-stained booklet. The pages are old and weathered. Renairen, a pleasure as always. What can I do for you? Nothing right now. Be well, human. Question for you. Nothing to say. Okay, well, I guess we're all wrapped up then, so... I think we'll have a quick chat with Iger viewers, and then that's probably it for this video, I think. Hey there, how you been? Could be worse. No, nothing new from Kami either, so... Yeah, I'm kind of glad I broke up this side quest. It took a while. Iger's was actually the fastest, but it might have been because I rushed it. And dodged combat with a couple guys in the side streets. Any thoughts? I mean... Oh, nothing right now. Okay, well, viewers, that's it for now. So, when we come back, I think we're just going to start moving on the Azzies. That should be fun. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time, and let's play Shadowrun Dragonfall the Director's Cut. See you then.